What's up guys, back to another Konosuba video, and in today's video we are going to talk about a few extra ways to get some quartz. So for most people you probably have at least one of these things already done, but obviously for some people who either forget or maybe they just haven't checked, or for some newer players who are just starting because of Overlord, these could be some helpful ones. Funny enough, one of these things is something I haven't even done yet, and I always forget about it, and so now is kind of like the show time to do it because, Overlord banner is really good, and then after that, Chris, so another really good banner, so you want to get as much quartz as you possibly can. So let's jump into the video. So the first one is going to be the most obvious, always check if you have all your quests done. And on top of that, make sure you have them all 3-star as well. So we are currently on part 3, chapter 1 for normal and hard, and for expert we are on part 2. I believe it's chapter 10. Oh, sorry, no, chapter 6. 10 is the one we're going to be getting eventually for part 2. But make sure you have all these all 100%, because obviously if they aren't 100%, you can still get some quartz. Obviously not a whole ton of quartz, but every little bit can add up, because you could straight up just pull ions off a single if you're lucky enough. So always make sure you're stocked up on quests and you're done with it. Obviously this leads into the fact that you want to have them all done for expert mode anyway, because you want to be getting the crystals for the better weapons, but that's a whole nother topic. This is just about quartz. Make sure you have it for the quartz. Next up is probably going to be the longest one, and ironically it's the one I haven't done yet. It is the story tab. Now if you have done main story, I'm on part 2. When you go through the story, you get little cutscenes, and they give 30, I think it's what, 30, I think 50, and I think some of them go 100 to 300 if I'm not mistaken. It's been a minute, so I could be wrong on some of those values. I just know that they give you 30 for most of them, and then occasionally you'll get one that's not worth 30. There's also on the same tab events. Obviously this is going to only be available if you've already cleared them. So I've actually missed this one right here, so I can go back and get this quote right here. I'm gonna do that real quick, but of course that's because I've done the event and I've unlocked it. If you obviously haven't done the event, then you don't get this, unfortunately. That sucks, but it is, hey, if you missed it like I did, you just grinded the event and didn't think about the story, you have quartz here, which is really nice. And boom, there's no part 3 unfortunately, but we did get 30 quartz there. Then as well, there is the normal Konosuba story. This hasn't been updated in a minute, so you probably already have those. And then of course we have character affinity. So on getting your character's affinity up, you get a little story. Obviously I have all of them already, but for some characters, no, that was a good example. 30 quartz being the story. If I get her affinity up even more, I'll get even more quartz. Let me, man, I've actually been pretty good about doing all these, unfortunately. I believe the max affinity is 20 for this. If I'm wrong, I do apologize. It's been a minute since I've gone through, because there was a time where I needed quartz and I made every character 20 affinity. But there is quartz in characters. This is probably going to net you a decent amount if you haven't done any of it, or even if you've missed a little bit, this can net you a good amount. I think last time I did this, I got that multi, if I'm not mistaken, but that's because I didn't claim any of it. Obviously it's gonna vary if you've claimed some of it before, if you claimed none of it, but it is a way to get quartz nonetheless. Hopefully it helps you guys get to your multi that lets you pull ions or whatever you're searching for in the Overlord banners. But anyway, let's get into the last one, which is another one I haven't fully technically done myself. I just kind of like leave it there because it doesn't really affect me too much, but that is in the mission. Obviously daily missions and events are the no-brainer, that's why I'm not going over them, but there is a tab right here for regular. Now the first one is going to correlate to the number of quests you have done. Obviously this is story mode related. I can't get any more crowns because I've already beaten everything that gives me crowns, so obviously I can't get that. But for this, is increase the affinity of 5 characters 35, 50 quartz, Craft a 1-star weapon 5 times. Craft a 2-star weapon. Craft a piece of jewelry. Funny enough, I've never done this for some reason. Craft a 2-star piece of jewelry. Upgrade 30 pieces. Increase your player rank, and then make 4 first friends. If you don't know what a first friend is, it's pretty much friend someone and be their first friend. Easy as that. That one gives 300. Very nice. I'll actually have to do that. What you could do to cheese is if you have a second device, you can make a new account and then friend it if you really wanted to, or maybe ask around. I'm not too sure if you unfriend everybody on a friends list and then add somebody. I think that works. I haven't tested it, but I remember someone talking about that. But obviously the easiest way is just to make a new account on a different device. Let's say on BlueStacks or whatever emulator you can use on your PC, or if you have a secondary phone laying around, you can do it that way. But then there's obviously stuff like crafting. You get 50 from that, which is a pretty decent amount of quartz, to be honest. You can spam a lot of the first one, I'm assuming. Of course, it's going to go up every time. It's not going to be every for one piece of jewelry you're going to get 50 quartz. That'd be a little too good to be true, but it is still adding to your quartz amount. Doing all of this could net you a multi or 2, or heck, even half a multi if you're unlucky, but still, that's quartz. It's crucial to get as much as you can. So that'll pretty much be it for the video. Hopefully this helps you get a little bit more extra quartz, especially if you are a newer player and you're not too sure, what gives you quartz, or you're like, oh, I've never clicked on this tab, or oh, I haven't paid attention to this tab. This is pretty much every, non-obvious of just, doing your dailies. Of course, doing your dailies also gives you quartz if you haven't noticed. There's also the events tab right here, by the way, if you're a newer player. Unfortunately, if you do all your dailies and then claim them from the missions and don't open this tab up again, you are missing out on quartz. You have to go down to this mission bonus and then click claim once you've done your daily missions, and you will get an extra 50 quartz from this. Don't miss it. Trust me, I did not know about this for the first week I played, because I just was like, oh, hey, yeah, click, log in, yeah, and then close it, and then never think about it again. Also, kind of weird how that little symbol's always there. Other than that, that is pretty much it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Konosuba content. Tomorrow, we will be dropping the Should You Summon for the Part 1 Overlord banner. That banner will include Ainz, Darkness, and Kazuma. And then, of course, when we get closer to the second part banner, I'll make a video on that. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And I'll catch you on the next Konosuba video. Thanks for watching.